Welcome, everyone. I'm Swamini Valli. I'm hosting this program today to help us get prepared for Skanda Shasti. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Radha, who's helping with the ticket. Welcome, everyone. I'm Swamini Valli. Oh, dear. I'm hosting this program today to help. So sorry, I had an extra instance of the program open on the YouTube site, and that creates a double sound when it's going live. My apologies for that. So again, welcome to everyone for being here. And we will go ahead and get started. Radha, if you can put the slideshow up, and we'll go through a little presentation first. I'll go ahead and close my video so that it's not distracting for them. So again, welcome. I was asked to talk today about preparing for Skanda Shasti. Skanda Shasti, for those that are new, it's an annual 6-day festival celebrating Muruga. Shasti is a word that means 6, and Skanda is one of the names of Muruga. And Muruga is a warrior healer archetype, very beloved in Tamil Nadu, a state in southern India. He's not yet so well known in the West, but he's very, very popular among the Tamils. Next slide, please. So again, who is Muruga? I have a picture of him. He's got his vel, which is his spear or his lance. It's his psychic weapon. He's often portrayed as a very handsome young man. So again, as I said, he's a warrior and a healer. He can both protect and he can also do healings as well. Dr. Pillai has explained that Muruga came out of the third eye of Shiva, and that is the true birthplace of Muruga. The birthplace of Muruga is the third eye, and he is someone who can also help to develop and awaken the third eye inside of each of us. Next slide, please. So Skanda Shasti is a time when Muruga's blessings are very available. Dr. Pillai has said, among other things, Muruga can give you protection from enemies, from rivals, protect you from evil eye, and he can help you with maintaining good health. Dr. Pillai says, if you have the blessings of Muruga, you will get into miracles instantaneously. So some very simple quantum sounds that people can chant to prepare for the 6 days of Skanda Shasti to invoke Muruga are Om Murugaya Namaha. Dr. Pillai has said the name of each of the archetypes is a mantra in and of itself. So just a very simple mantra could be Om Murugaya Namaha to help prepare you for Skanda Shasti. This year, 2024, Skanda Shasti in North America will go from November 1st through November 6th of 2024. It's on different days on different years, but we're about to enter it later this week here in North America, 2024. Next slide, please. So Muruga is very, very good for giving blessings for courage and self-confidence and success. And he can especially transmit these gifts to the people who connect with him during the Skanda Shasti festival. As I mentioned before, he has a sacred weapon, his vel, which is a kind of a lance or a spear. And with this vel of light, he has a supreme ability to destroy negative forces. So he can intervene in dissolving some of our past negative karmas, some of the negativity that we're dealing with each and every day in our lives. A very basic way to prepare for Skanda Shasti or any of the spiritual festivals is to clean out our homes and our workplaces, to make them clean and bright, give away old things that we no longer use, make some fresh space for new energy to come in, and also to inwardly clean out any resentments, and forgive other people. So we work to clean out outwardly and inwardly going into a spiritual festival to make us more receptive to the light that we can receive during the festival. Next slide, please. Muruga transmits wisdom and the photon light of the Pleiadean system to help with evolution here on Earth. Dr. Pillai says Muruga is associated with the interstellar energies of the Pleiades system. He's kind of the guardian angel or the lord of the Pleiadian system. And his vel is also a representation of the pineal gland. And the pineal gland, this is associated with our third eye, can give us wisdom that transcends time and space. And Dr. Pillai has said the Pleiades will have a very positive influence on the upcoming age on our planet. We're in a transition, moving from a Kali Yuga into a more golden age. So Dr. Pillai says Muruga is the lord of the Pleiades, and the Pleiadians themselves are very concerned about the evolution on the earth plane. So if you already have some connection with the Pleiades, Muruga may be an archetype that you're interested in learning more about and becoming closer to. Next slide, please. A very simple practice that you can do on your own to prepare for Skanda Shasti. A very simple visualization is to picture Muruga's vel of light entering into your own energy body. Start with picturing the base of the vel of light, starting at the root center in your own body and rising up with light from there through your spine, driving out all negativities and impurities, going all the way up, and then picture the top of the vel rising up into your third eye with the light of 1,000,000 suns. And then ask Muruga to give you a pure, one-pointed focus on your goals and on your intentions. And thank him for his help with this. Next slide, please. Another practice you can do for Skanda Shasti to prepare, if you already have a vel of your own, you can experiment with doing a daily milk bath on your vel. First, hydrate the vel with water. You can hold it over a sink and pour some water over it. And then pour either goat milk or whole cow's milk over the vel and chant 6 times, Om Saravana Bhava. It's a very strong mantra for invoking Muruga. Muruga likes goat milk especially, but if you don't have that, the whole cow's milk is fine to use. Dr. Pillai says just don't be using like almond milk or 2% cow milk. Use the whole cow milk is what he says. And then after you've poured the milk over the vel and done your chanting, make your sincere prayer to Muruga using your own words and be authentic with what you're saying. And then you can rinse off the vel with water and then pat it dry with a clean cloth and put it back on your altar or your puja area. So that's another simple practice that you could do to help you prepare for Skanda Shasti. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, Muruga can help activate the third eye. It's one of his specialties. Dr. Pillai says Muruga represents the higher intelligence within you that can defeat the limiting forces of the rational mind. During Skanda Shasti, you can access this intelligence to awaken your third eye and realize your true potential beyond the physical senses. So Dr. Pillai has said the awakening of the third eye is a gift from God. And this is an awakening that appears in stages. It's not like, bam, overnight your third eye was awakened. For most people, it's more of a gentle awakening process. So allow it to appear for you in stages, not expecting that by day 6 of Skanda Shasti, it may be fully open. This is something that may take time for some of us. It'll happen in stages so that we're not, blown out of the water by it, so to speak. Next slide, please. Dr. Pillai has mentioned to us that Muruga is associated with both a peacock and a rooster. The peacock, this bird is considered to be his vehicle. You'll see pictures of him riding on a peacock. And the rooster is often shown on his flag. And you can see the little rooster on the flag here in this particular picture of Muruga. In this picture, Muruga has a red light. He's very much associated with the red color. Dr. Pillai at one point said the peacock, the esoteric meaning of the peacock represents infinite light, and the rooster represents infinite sound. He's talked about the rooster, even the rooster that's in the barnyard at a farm in the morning when it goes, it's driving away the negativity from the day. So this energy of the rooster to drive away negative energy is part of the infinite sound quality of the rooster symbol. And some people like to have representations of both the peacock and the rooster in their homes to remind them of Muruga when they see them. At the end of the slideshow, I'll show you a peacock and a rooster that I have in my home. And I know that Dr. Pillai always has some form of the rooster in his home to help with driving away negative energies. So these are simple symbols, but they have a lot of depth associated with them. And you may want to explore getting a little peacock or a rooster symbol for yourself as part of the preparation for Skanda Shasti. Next slide, please. This is a mantra that Dr. Pillai gave one time for Muruga. He calls it the debt buster mantra. Muruga has the ability to help dissolve our debts. And this is a mantra that I have tested for myself and found that it works very, very well. Earlier in my life, I was working in IT and I was working in Manhattan making good money, doing IT work. And then I changed and moved over to India for a while. And while I was there, I was making a much lower salary. My room and board was being taken care of working for Astrovid, but I wasn't making anything like the money I had been making in New York. And then I got a bill from the IRS that I had incorrectly calculated my taxes for 1 year, and I owed more money. And if I was still working in IT, it wouldn't have been a problem. I could have easily written a check for it. But now, because I was making a lot less money, I was a bit freaked out, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this IRS bill paid off? And I remembered this debt buster mantra that Dr. Pillai had given us. And I started working with this one, and I was doing it over and over and over again, many days in a row. And as I worked with it, I was holding in my mind that I wanted the IRS bill paid off. I didn't know how this could happen. I didn't know when it could happen. I was just holding in my mind what I wanted, not any of the rational thoughts about it. And I did have the IRS bill paid off before the end of the year in a way that I would never have anticipated. So this mantra is a very useful one if you've got credit card debt, if you've got other bills with your company, etc. I really encourage you to learn to connect with Muruga and work with this mantra very sincerely for extended periods of time. Om Saravana Bhavaya, Ru Na Vi Mo, Kashanaya, Murugaya, Skandaya, Swaha. Om Saravana Bhavaya, Ru Na Vi Mo, Kashanaya, Murugaya, Skandaya, Swaha. Om Saravana Bhavaya, Ru Na Vi Mo, Kashanaya, Murugaya, Skandaya, Swaha. So this is also a mantra you can work with if you've got issues with debts of any kind, and work with it now and work with it throughout the Skanda Shasti period. I hope that's helpful for some of you. Next slide, please. So Muruga, again, he can help protect us, keep us safe. He can destroy impurities and ignorance. He can heal disease. He can dissolve debts of all kinds. He can teach us secrets about the wisdom of Om, and he can give us the gift of unshakable faith. So some of you, even after this video, may want to prepare for Skanda Shasti by learning more about Muruga. You could Google him and learn some of the different stories about him. You know, immerse yourself in some of the other videos that Dr. Pillai has done about Muruga, or videos that other teachers have done that are on the Pillai Center Practice channel as well. Next slide, please. Muruga has 6 temples in southern India that are in 6 power spots where his energy is very available. And each of these temples has sort of a specialty aspect of Muruga that especially brings through blessings in that specialty area. So I'm just going to quickly go through the 6 temples to just expand your understanding of what all Muruga can do for you. And I'm not saying you have to pray for all of these things during Skanda Shasti, but maybe you might find 1 or 2 things that are really important for you right now. Maybe it's dissolving debt. Maybe it's having better health. But to give you something to really focus on with him and to ask him to help you with. Dr. Pillai says it's important for us to ask. It's even in the Bible, ask and you shall receive. So these are 6 temples to give you some ideas of what you can ask Muruga for. Next slide, please. So one temple is called Palani, and I do apologize, I have an American accent, so my pronunciation of some of these Tamil words may not be spot on, but I'm doing my best. The Palani Temple, it's a very famous temple. It's very frequently visited by many people, and it sits up on a hill, and it's high up on the hill. When I've gone to it, there's like a little cable car system. There's a lot of steps that people can walk to go up the hill, but there's also a little cable car system. And I've always taken the little cable car to go up the hill. And there are a lot of saints from centuries ago that have spent time meditating here. So it's really imbued with a lot of stillness and unholy energy. But this particular temple, this one that's up on the high hill, this is an aspect of Muruga that gives very special blessings for health and for healing. There's a lot of health and healing energy at this one. Next slide, please. Another temple for Muruga is Tiruchendur. And according to the mythotherapy story, the 6-headed version of Muruga emerged as 6 sparks of flame that came from the 3rd eye of Lord Shiva. And then these were merged together to become Muruga. And he was created at that instance, especially to command divine forces that were needed to go into a fight against evildoers on the earth plane. So Muruga can destroy demonic energies, negative energies. And this aspect at Tiruchendur Temple is the Muruga that gives special blessings for victory over both internal and external negativities. So if you're working on a project and you're being challenged with negative energies, this is an aspect of Muruga that can truly help you with overcoming evil eye or negative interferences of any kind. Next slide, please. This temple is at Swami Malai Muruga Temple. There was a point with Shiva in one of the mythotherapy stories where at one point he was actually cursed by a sage to forget the meaning of Om. And at that point, Muruga had to become the guru or the teacher to his own father, Shiva, to explain the divine meaning of Om. So he sat on Shiva's lap and taught him the meaning of Om all over again. So this temple is the special aspect of Muruga that gives blessings for wisdom and divine intelligence. So this is another aspect of Muruga, teaching us the cosmic meaning of Om and other divine wisdoms. Swami Malai Temple. Next slide, please. This temple, and I may have a challenge with saying this one, Tiruparam Kundram Temple. This one is also located near some hills about 5 miles outside of Madurai in Tamil Nadu. And it has a very mystic beauty. And according to the mythotherapy story, this is where Muruga married Devasena, the divine daughter of the king of heaven in Indra. So this aspect of Muruga gives a special blessings for good relationship, for charismatic charm to attract others. So if you're seeking blessings for relationship, or you're in a relationship that maybe needs to be smoothed out a bit, Muruga can also help with that. He has blessings for that. He married Devasena, the daughter of the king of heaven, Indra, in a celestial marriage. And this power spot here is associated with that particular mythotherapy story. Next slide, please. This temple, Palamudir Choli, this is one that also sits on the top of a hill in a very dense forest. And at this temple, it's Muruga's vel, his weapon, that lance or spear, that is especially worshipped here. And again, the vel is a weapon for destroying negativities. And so this aspect of Muruga gives special blessings to help us to have courage and power to accomplish the unachievable. So Muruga can give you the ability to do things that you don't think you can do today. Muruga can give you that power, that courage. So that's also an aspect of Muruga that some of you may want to tap into. Next slide, please. This is the last of the 6 temples. This is Turani. And this one is associated with his marriage to Valli. Valli was not a divine being. She incarnated on the earth plane. And so this is a earthly marriage that he had. On this particular temple, his blessings give peace of mind. And it's said that Lord Rama himself, after he killed the demon Ravana in the epic story, first he went and worshipped Shiva at Rameshwaram Island for removing karma for the sin of killing. And then he came to Tiratani and worshipped here to find perfect peace of mind after having been in a great war, a great battle, by worshiping Muruga. So this aspect of Muruga at Tiratani Temple gives special blessings for serenity, mental peace, peace of mind, which is a great blessing for us to have. Next slide, please. So suggestion is for you to learn a little bit more about Muruga even before Skanda Shasti starts. Now, sage Arunagiri, a great Tamil saint, gave many teachings in Tamil about Muruga. At one point in his life, Arunagiri was kind of a wild child, and he had become a bit suicidal. And he was ready to throw himself off a high tower near the hill at Arunachala. And Muruga actually appeared to him and rescued him from falling off the tower. He saved him, he caught him. And Arunagiri became transformed. And at that point, he was transformed from being this wild person who had been totally out of control and transformed into a light being, a saint himself. On the Human Evolution TV YouTube channel, there is a 4-part video series of Dr. Pillai talking about Arunagiri's teachings on Muruga. And I've put into the slide deck the link for part 1, but you should be able to find it just by searching on, Arunagiri teachings on Muruga on the Human Evolution TV YouTube channel. So some of you may enjoy to watch that 4-part series to go into more in depth about Muruga. If you already know some of the stories, these teachings by Arunagiri, who had a very special connection to Muruga, may be very interesting for some of you. Next slide, please. So this is the conclusion of the PowerPoint presentation. This is Muruga, and on his right is Devasena, and the one on the left, the one that's more green colored, that's Valli. So that's Muruga with his two wives. If you, for any reason, you would like a PDF version of the PowerPoint, I'll send you one if you email me at valli@pillaicenter.com. Okay, Radha, can you stop the share, and I'll go back on video for just a few moments for sharing a few things with them. I wanted to share that I do have bells. I have a smaller one. I have many of them, but these are two that I'm sharing with you for you to see. So they can be in different sizes. They could be golden, they could be silver, they could be bronze, but some of you may be interested to get a bell or to work with your bells if you already have them. I do have a rooster. This is a very special Portuguese form of the rooster. It's got little hearts on it, and I like to keep this one. And I also have a little plushie that is a peacock. So my little plushie here is also something that I keep to remind me of Muruga in my room. And then I do have a little statue of Muruga, a Muruga with his bell. Dr. Pillai has encouraged, if you're getting a statue of Muruga, to make sure that it has the bell. So that's something that he has suggested and encouraged for us to do. So those are just a few things of my own that I wanted to share with you about Muruga. And now I'd like to open it for questions. If you have questions, please post them in the chat. And Radha may have to read some of them to me, but I'll do my best to try to answer them if I can.
Swamini Valli, we have a comment that this is so nice learning about his mantras, leelas, sacred places. This is wealth. Om Murugaya Namaha.
Oh, lovely. I'm so happy that you enjoyed it. Wonderful. And I'm glad that the PowerPoint presentation worked okay for this webinar. I wanted it to be not just a talking head. I thought the pictures and the words on the screen could be very helpful for you. So thank you for confirming that for me. It could encourage me to do more videos that way. Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any other? Yes.
I don't see any questions right now, but we have another comment. Muruga is me. The golden age will be great for all good people.
Wonderful. Wonderful that you're connecting with him so deeply. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right.
And do you have any words about how we can celebrate Skanda Shasti through Pillai Center?
There should be in below the YouTube, there should be some links to some of the Pillai Center programs. There's Dr. Pillai will be doing an initiation on night 6, and these are paid programs. And so some of you may want to participate in that. And then on the first 5 nights of Skanda Shasti, there's a program where they'll be playing some recorded audios by Dr. Pillai teachings about Muruga. And then on each night, there'll be a different Pillai Center teacher doing a mini fire lab for Muruga as well. That'll be live on that part of the program. So there also are remedies that some people may want to have done at some of these temples or other power spots in India. There's information about that below the below the YouTube video. And then also right now on Pillai Center practice channel each night at 6 p.m. Pacific time, Ronnie has created a program where there's some small recorded teaching audio of Dr. Pillai, and then she talks a bit about it. And then there's also some chanting that they're doing with some of the sounds. So some of you may enjoy to participate in day 1, day 2, day 3. Like the first one, I think, has already happened. And I thought it was a beautiful program. So some of you may enjoy to participate in this preparation series of videos that Ronnie has set up on Pillai Center Practice Channel. So Radha, did I miss anything? I'm not really great at commercials. I hope that's helpful. But I think for those of you, the initiation with Dr. Pillai is very special. I'll be helping on night 5. I'll be my turn to be a teacher doing the little mini fire lab. I think it's great to experience some of the different Pillai Center teachers and to, they each have different wisdoms and energies to share with you. So if it fits into your budget and if it's into your time, we'd love to have you there. However, Dr. Pillai is a practical guru, and he does want people to always be staying within their budget. So please don't be doing any of the programs if this is going to stretch your budget too far. That's just a word of caution that I have for that. There's a lot of videos already up there on both the Pillai Center channel that has Dr. Pillai's teachings and on the Pillai Center Practice channel that has programs from the various teachers, and on the Human Evolution TV channel. And for those of you that speak Tamil, there's also a Tamil channel where Dr. Pillai talks in Tamil. So if you are a Tamil speaker, you may enjoy to visit the Tamil channel and listen to him talk about Muruga on Tamil. Okay, so lots going on. And you're welcome to go over to the Pillai Center website and look at what's there as well. Okay.
Swamini Valli, we do have a question. You've spoken to this a little bit, but someone has asked for clarification. What would be a good practice for these days? Om in the chakras or Om Murugaya Namaha?
Well, you're all spiritual adults, so I feel like the best practice is the one you're going to actually do. So if you're drawn to do Om in all your chakras and that makes you happy, go for it. If you're comfortable to be chanting Om Murugaya Namaha, go for it. But the best practice is going to be the one that kind of calls to you and that you're going to actually do. And you're all spiritual adults. You're all developing your own intuitions about what you're drawn to do. So hopefully do something that's putting a smile on your face and helping you feel excited for going into Skanda Shasti would be my suggestion.
Wonderful. And I don't see any more questions on the chat, but I do see 2 comments. And one is, it is a pleasure always to have your presence and wisdom. Muruga gives you all the blessings for your transmission. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste. And I have to give credit to Dr. Pillai for his empowerment for me to be teaching and talking. And, he is the secret sauce in everything that I do, for sure.
Wonderful. And then the last couple comments are, thank you very much for detailed information about Muruga. It helps us pray with heart. And then a final comment is, love you, thank you.
Ah, love to all of you as well. Love, love, love. Okay. Well, we can go ahead and put up the closeout card and you can play a little bit of mantra music, and bye-bye for now.